your teacher today. So today the topic of our class is gender neutral language in legal documents. I'm going to show you a presentation. I'm actually very glad to see a lot of familiar faces. So I'm going to make sure that all of us have got our volume turned off, and I'm going to show you some presentation, and during the course of this presentation or over the course of this presentation, I'm going to ask you some questions, and you will need to reply, but you will not reply by speaking. You will need to reply by playing a small game. So, and we'll see how it goes. So my name is Sophia, and there will be sometimes the portions where we'll be asking your questions. So you are very welcome to voice them. We do not have that many people, so which is good. So, and we'll see how it goes, okay? I will try to see that my audio or my presentation is working okay. So let us go. We'll see. Just a moment. We'll see how it goes. So here we are, the presentation on gender neutral English and legal documents. My plan is that we're going to have about 1 hour for it, but if we have more, then it's absolutely okay. If we have less, then it is fine too. Okay, so just a moment. So can everyone hear me well, or only one person? Just a
We
moment.
hear you well.
Okay, good. Then if someone cannot hear me, please, can you please go out and then try to get in, okay? So this is how I make sure that everything is okay. So let me start from the very beginning. So off we go. So just a moment. So outline what I'm going to speak about today. Today I'm going to speak about importance of gender neutral language, 4 reasons to use gender neutral language, then the main problem areas that legal and academic writers sometimes face, and then we are going to talk about 3 major areas: is salutation, pronouns, and generic use of men, plus gender neutral job titles that are going to get combined with each other. And within the course of our seminar, you will be actually answering some questions, some of my questions. And for that, you need to prepare a second device, or to be able, if you work with the computer, to open up a second page. So off we go. And you will need to answer my questions in anonymous way. So it means that I won't be able to see how you answer, but you will be able to see the results up on the screen. So, importance of gender neutral language. In Russian language, in Russian area of, I would say, the speech, we do not sometimes realize how important it is and how difficult it is in English language. Until now, until the recent times, there have been no strict regulations, very strict regulations regarding the use of gender neutral language. But in 2011, on the left, you can see that in the United States, there was issued so-called Federal Plain English Guideline, and it was actually a law which was published under Barack Obama, and there is a 100-page of guideline, and over there is a big portion dedicated to the use of gender neutral language. So as you can see, even at legislation, at a legislative level, the usage of gender neutral language is fixed or set. So it is quite important. Of course, it is actually a guideline for administrative stuff. It's not for regular people of a business, but we try to orient ourselves. So United States were pretty fast, 2011. In European Parliament, they issued a gender neutral language guideline in 2018, in June of 2018. So the 3 years have passed. So they were a little bit late, but nevertheless, usually in the United States, the compliance with language is much more serious. So we in Russia, we sometimes don't feel the importance of gender neutral language, but it is important. Why? First reason, because of the reader reaction. You never know whom you are going to deal with, or in your documents who is going to read them. because they may be forwarded to someone, and some people are taking these issues very, very seriously. Then fairness. It is actually fair to both men and women and children to be addressed properly. Then, of course, clarity. We need to be clear whom we are talking about and what we are talking about. And of course, the precision. So we need to be also very much, we need to make sure that we are understood well. And we need to remember that law basically does not exist in any other way except for in writing or in listening, I mean, in the form of words. So, and as a lawyer, we need to be extremely cautious how to express our feelings and our thoughts. So the 6 problem areas that legal writers usually face if we speak about gender-neutral language. Salutations, generic use of man, pronouns, gender-neutral job titles, sexist modifiers, and other sexist language. We now live in the new normal, and we need to understand it. Again, the main issue for us is also because we in Russian don't feel it sometimes because it's a different language for us. And to make sure that we are incorporated in the modern English-speaking world, we need to play according to the rules of the new language. So let us look. So, salutations. What I would ask you to do now, I will ask you now to open up the second page, either on your computer or on your phone, and you need to go to a website which is called menti.com, as you can see here up on the screen, and you need to insert a code 422-33457. And now let's try and see why. There is a question here now, up on the screen. You're writing to a lawyer who is a woman. You don't know whether she is married or not. You need to choose the best option for salutation. If you go to this website, perfect, and menti.com and use the code, you can see that there are the options and you can vote. Okay, you vote, and then up on the screen we can see the results. On the right we can see that there is the number of people who voted. We have right now about, yes, 20, there are 28 of you, so you can see the results. For the first time it takes some time, so I'm waiting. Okay. Next time when you answer the questions, you don't need to again insert the code. You will be just going to the next page. And this is how we are going to work. Where you're going to answer, I'm going to kind of correct or say whether you were right or not and explain what's going on here. As you can see, 12 people have voted. And off we go. So there are 3 options. So you're writing to a lawyer who's a woman. You don't know whether she's married or not. Choose the best option for salutation. Mrs. Smith, Miss Smith, or Ms. Smith. Thank you, Alexandra. I'm glad to see you too. Okay, so I think that's enough for now because the rest may join us later on. So actually those who answered Ms. Smith, when it's only MS, you're absolutely right. So we used to have the situation that when you were addressing a woman, either in oral speech or in writing, you should have differentiated whether she's Miss, which means she is single, or she's Mrs. MRS. It means that she is married. Miss, I mean MISS Smith. Yes. So, but the world has changed, and right now we have a third option for a woman, which you were absolutely right. The 78% of our group answered it's Ms. It is written as MS and is pronounced as MZ, Ms, kind of low. So it means it's neutral. You don't know whether she's married or not. So in some countries, no one cares about it. In other countries, people are really, really cautious about and are very attentive to this. So it is advisable to always address a woman like this. Why? Because women don't want to be judged on the basis of their marital status. It doesn't matter whether they are married or not if they are professionals. It's a professional that is important, professionalism which is important, and plus it's disclosing too much of their information about their personal life. Because, for example, if we address a man, we are not using this. In Russia, we have enough, so we don't feel it in Russia. Actually, for us, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because we don't have Dutch system of salutations. So, but we have another option. We basically do not have any salutation at all. If a person is addressed, it can be called гражданин, мужчина, сударь, as in теремок, извините, and so on and so forth. We have another situation that we have no basically standard salutation. So let's now go to the next one and let's give it a try to the next slide. So just a moment. Сейчас у меня какой-то hiccup in the system. So because I want to go to the next one. Just a moment. Сейчас, секундочку. Так, let's give it a try. So too long. I was jumping over here. So let us give it a try. So, okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so imagine that you are writing to a law firm, Law and Steel LLP, and you don't know which lawyer is going to be dealing with your case. Which option would you choose for this? So you're writing to a law firm and you don't know which lawyer is going to be dealing with your case. So we have the options: dear sir, madam, dear sirs. So let's see. I think I wrote also dear Mr. or something like this. Okay, I can see that, yeah, the numbers are basically kind of shifting, but still. So some said dear sir or madam, как уважаемый, уважаемая, it means formal writing, yes? And someone used dear sirs. Yes, we used to have dear sirs in all legal writing guidelines, and it used to be the proper formal salutation for people you don't know and for lawyers especially. But it has been abandoned and it is not recommended to use anymore. And it is such an important situation that even if I'm not mistaken, in December of 2016 or 2017, a huge, big law firm, which is called Freshfields, even circulated a memo among its employees, among its lawyers, saying that they prohibit using dear sirs in their correspondence. Why? Because dear sirs does not include women. And if you're writing to a law firm, there is a very rare situation that there will be only men working, because over 50% now of lawyers are very often ladies. So please be cautious. If you're writing dear sirs, you sound formal, but extremely outdated, old-fashioned, and a little bit sexist. So let's go to the next one. Что ж такое-то, хулиган? So let me try. Okay, good. So, and the final question, if I'm not mistaken, regarding the salutations. Imagine that you are submitting an application with some committee, and the committee consists of several people. What would you choose? So maybe it's a board, I don't know, some board of So we have options: dear Mr., dear sir, madam, dear committee. Your tag. Yes, for those who joined us, you can see that on top of the page there is menti.com. You need to go use the code and vote. Okay, I think that's enough. So actually right now 15 out of 20 voted wrong. So we should not write dear committee. So we should write dear sir or madam, because the person, there will be not the committee who will be getting our or receiving your application or your email, but there will be some person. So you're writing directly to a person. So please, it is not advisable to write dear board, dear committee, dear panel of judges, or something like this. In all of the situations, you're writing to someone you don't know, whether it's a law firm, a committee, a company, it is the safest way to use dear sir, madam. It's neutral, and it means that there will be a man or a woman reading it. And by the way, we have another situation that is quite interesting. Sometimes you don't know whom to write to, whether it's a man or a woman. You know the last name, but you don't understand whether it's a gentleman or a woman. That's another situation that is very difficult to deal with. Okay, so let us move on. So, and to sum up, salutation, we usually use dear, Mr. for a man, Ms. for a woman. We might use Mrs. only when we are sure that a woman prefers using her married name and she uses it, only in this situation. In all others, Ms. Neutral, modern, new. You may write dear all. Usually, dear all is written to, for example, if you are working on the project and you're writing for everyone for the first time. Dear colleagues is advisable to use only for your law firm, for the people you know. If you're writing to someone you don't know, it's better to use dear all. Dear sir, madam, of course, it's for people we don't know. And dear doctor, if it's a doctor or the person has got a PhD degree, it is advisable to use. And of course, if the person writes back to us as hi, for example, Sophia, you write to this person, dear Mr. Jones, and the person replies, hi, Sophia, it is advisable to continue to be on this semi-formal style and not to continue using dear, so not to insult a person. So, okay, I will be ready to answer all of your questions after the class, okay, at the end. So right now, let's continue so we make sure that we are not wasting the time. The second big topic, pronouns. Pronouns, Mr. Emilia. So a big and problematic topic. Can you please look on the web on the slide right now? This is an extract from a book for lawyers. It's actually a course book, which is called Ethical Problems in Practice of Law. Этические вопросы юриспруденции. It's an American course book that was published by Walters Kluwer, famous publishing house, in 2008. Can you just imagine? 2008, 12, 13 years back. And this book speaks in some articles, in some pages about some hypothetical or abstract situations. For example, the first question here. Можно ли наказать юриста за то, может ли юрист был наказан за то, что она работает вне штата, в котором она получила лицензию на работу юристом? So, in Russian language, we usually don't have issues with pronouns because in Russian language we use a neutral word, человек, and we automatically apply pronoun on, he, to this. So we do not feel this difference. In English language, there is no neutral pronoun. There is a pronoun it, but it means not living creatures. For men and for women, we can use only she or he. In long time ago, for many centuries, when there was someone speaking about some abstract situation, человек, который, and so on and so forth, there was the usage of man and he. Then, somewhere in the middle of the 20th century, already the situation started to change, and especially in the United States, they started to use he or she. Then, but it became extremely difficult because in all of the sentence you need to use he, she, if he or she, if he or she, if his or his. So it became extremely horrible. So here you can see a wonderful example that came up into the minds of American authors. They alternate the paragraphs. They change them. So in one paragraph, when they speak about a lawyer, the word she is used, hypothetical, гипотетичный юрист. And in the next paragraph, as you can see, the word he is used, or pronoun he is used. Then again, he, then again, she. It's extremely difficult. Can you just imagine that you need to pay attention to this thing? But this is one of the options that can be used. And so please do not be surprised that sometimes in some books you will see she when they speak about some lawyer or a person, or when there is these changes, he, she. It's according to the new standards. And let's now, right now, look at different options, how we can manipulate the language so we can avoid constant usage of he, she, or we at least make sure that we're not insulting anyone. Technically, there are 9 techniques how to be gender neutral, how not to insult anyone by mistake. It's, of course, using gender neutral pronouns and adjectives. It means anyone, someone, no one, and so on. Using there, we'll look at it. Deleting the pronoun altogether. Change the pronoun to an article, I mean the, for example, or a. Then use who in some situation. For example, a person who who can drive a car cannot hurt, who can drive a car well cannot hurt anyone. As you can see, we are not using any pronoun. Then you can repeat the noun. For example, a lawyer must advise his clients about some issues. The client will be aware of this and will not deal with or will not be stressed. Use plural of the noun, use infinitive form of the verb, and use passive form of the verb. Out of this 9, we'll practice with you 3. So let's have a look. So again, let me make it short. So can you please now go to menti.com, or if you're already there, you do not use the code, you can just continue, and you need to answer a question or correct it. The sentence is as follows: every competent lawyer must ensure that his legal knowledge is kept up to date. Любой компетентный юрист должен быть в курсе изменений в законодательстве. Или здесь, если по-английски, каждый юрист должен убедиться в том, чтобы его знания были соответствующие современному моменту. So how we can correct it? Every competent lawyer must ensure that her legal knowledge, her legal knowledge, or their legal knowledge. As I can see, 17 people have voted. So absolutely correct, actually, that 67%, actually there are 2 correct options. First correct option is her legal knowledge. It's absolutely okay, you may use it. So it will be grammatical correct, and it will be absolutely correct in terms of gender neutral language. But the third option, using their knowledge, is also good. A lot of purists of language say that it's ungrammatical, but starting from 2001, at least in Oxford language, such option was fixed that you can use their, which is plural pronoun, for a singular noun. So, and we would translate it into Russian as свое, да, или его, или ее. So they, as they couldn't in English language create a neutral personal pronoun, they just took, thank you very much, they just took the plural one, and it is okay. When in the first half of the sentence you have a singular noun and you use a plural for it. Grammatically, it's correct. Some people don't like it, but it is correct, absolutely. So please pay attention to this. Let's look further. Ой, как бы нам убрать эту красоту-то? Ольга Николаевна, уберете или не получится? Ладно, сейчас посмотрим. Ой, спасибо. Все, beautiful. Okay, so then let's look at the next one. A lawyer must check that she has all the relevant papers before attending court. Юрист должен убедиться, что у нее есть все соответствующие бумаги перед тем, как он идет в суд. So how we can correct this she, that he has, that he, she has, or we turned it purely into plural. Lawyers must check that they have. So let's see how we vote. Okay, 7 people voted, good. So actually both are absolutely right. Both of these options can be used. So you may say he, she has, absolutely correct. But if you, for example, have a long text and you want to avoid constant usage of he, she, you sometimes may just turn it into plural. And this is a very nice option if you have such a choice. So if there is such an option. Excellent. So both of these options are okay. And the final here. As a general rule, an employer is not liable for the work performed by his independent contractors. We would translate it as традиционно или работодатель не несет ответственности за работу, исполняемую независимыми подрядчиками по договору, contractors. So, employer. In Russian language, it's работодатель, and we automatically assume so that it's neutral, although we use male version. So it's absolutely okay. We use he. No, so. But in Russian language, we say that table is he, so, or ручка is she. So for us, it doesn't make that sense. Oh, I can see there is much more variety. That's kind of fun. So let's see. So let's have a look. Performed by his, her independent contractors, yes. But the first option, his or her, is not advisable because imagine that employer is a company. And as it is a company, then we need to use it. Yes. So if it is a company, that we need to use it. In Russian, we use ее компания или фирма. In English language, be it. So the first option is not okay if we talk about hypothetical situation. If we talk about, so we use about only hypothetical. Third option, 33% voted for by its independent contractors. This situation is okay if we talk about a company or a firm. But if an employer is a man or a woman, then the situation would be not okay. The middle option, 50% voted, is very good because yes, those who joined us later, you can look up on the screen and you can see that there is an instruction. You need to go to menti.com, use the code, and you will get into the voting system. Okay, Daria? So the middle part is the best because it is the it's neutral. You may just change it to the article, the independent contractors, and that's all. Or maybe even delete it at all, because if we talk about some hypothetical situation and plural, we don't know which independent contractors, we can just delete them altogether. By independent contractors, I should have included this option too. So once again, it depends upon the situation. Okay, let us go further. Sexist language. Actually, I'm going very, very fast. So sexist language, sexist modifiers, and generic use of man. Our third topic today. So first of all, what we need to remember is that right now, the generic use of man, what I mean just the usage of the word man, is sort of banned or is advisable not to use, because man, once again, in English language means мужчина, хоть и человек, но мужчина. That's why right now the ending man is being deleted from the words. For example, mankind, it's advisable to say people, human race, human being, population. People would be maybe. I like the word persons, лица, if we speak about legal English. Or, for example, want to say человек который. It's not advisable to use a man who. It is advisable to say an individual who, a person who, one who, or someone who. So let's practice. Okay, let me again delete my face. So there is a sentence. Every man has the right to defend his home. Here we have two of the options, two of the issues. We have the word man and we have the word his. So it's purely only talking about a man, мужчина. So if you need to vote, you need to go to menti.com, use the code, and here you will get into the voting system. There are three options. So let's see. Okay. What I can see. So I can see that no one is using the third option. Absolutely correct. So speaking about this, we have got 61% who voted for every person has the right to defend their home. Каждое лицо, каждый человек имеет право защитить свой дом. We would translate it into Russian. And every person has the right to defend his or her home. Каждый человек вправе защищать свой, его или ее дом. Actually, both of these options are fine. It just depends upon you, which option you prefer, either his or her or their. They are both okay and they should be used, but not the original. Speaking about every individual has the right to defend her home, here, no, because here it means that we're talking only about a woman or women, and it means that we are excluding men. So no, it's not advisable to use it. So we need to include both men and women. Of course, again, if we speak about an abstract situation, not about a situation when we know that it was a woman or a man. Okay, very good. So then the next topic is the gender neutral job titles. So on the left, you can see old-fashioned term, and on the right, you have its non-sexist equivalent. If someone would like to, I can send you, or you can watch out. You can download the gender-neutral guideline, for example, for European Parliament. In schedule to it, there is a huge list of all the professions which are right now have their new equivalents. Here are just a small portion of them. I picked up the most frequently used. We all remember that when we were kids, maybe someone doesn't remember, I still remember, we use air hostess or stewardess, stewardessa. Right? So no, right now it's not okay to use because this ending double S, E-double-S means stewardessa. So, and right now we need to use flight attendant, which is neutral. Again, we don't feel it in Russia because in Russian we used to have these neutral job titles: доктор, врач, учитель. У нас есть учительница, but it's not that kind of serious. In Russian language, in English language, they used to have always these директорша, as in Russian it sounds kind of rude. stewardessa, but imagine that they're always this ending sha, and they try to delete it, which is kind of good because it doesn't matter who basically performs in job, the profession. What matters is professionalism. In Russian language, we use now kind of in medieval times because we vice versa started using this in some of the publics. You can see blogerka, авторка, юристка, which is horrible in my opinion, but it's my personal opinion. I have even heard the word oligarcha, which I think is sweet, but it's kind of opposite in with the tendencies which going on in the whole world. So nevertheless, keep in mind, please, that it should not be used in English language. So it didn't sound rude. So businessman, with businessman, it's my opinion, I think the substitute zamena is not good because businessman was changed into business executive. Well, entrepreneur, okay. So, but a business executive, in my opinion, it's not similar to businessman because, in my opinion, business executive, it's someone from the high level of company, like executives, manager, управляющие. So when you see the conference for business executives, it means not only for big shots, but only for everyone, basically. So cameraman, camera operator, chairman, it's important if you are dealing with corporate law. So председатель, например, правления, board of directors, right now you either use head or chair. Is speaking about congressman, member of Congress, yes, but if you watched the election of Biden this autumn, constantly on BBC and everywhere they use congressman and congresswoman. So there are some exceptions. I was actually quite surprised why they do it, why they did not use member of Congress. So although it was in the United States, but nevertheless, it should not be used. And of course, delivery man and so on, courier service and so on. So let us practice. Так. A lawyer knows better than a layman that knowledge of where to find the law is at least as useful as knowledge of specific legal provisions. Who is a layman? Layman means non-professional lawyer. Обычный человек. Layman used to be used very often for обычный человек, не юрист, не профессиональный юрист. So what kind of new substitute we have? So there are three options: common man, regular person, and layperson. Let's see. Okay. Here it's a little bit more interesting. So actually the best option will be layperson. Layperson is a very good neutral term, and it's not insulting, it's not offending. So, and it is used everywhere in legal documentation, in books, in course books, in documents. A layperson is good. Обычный человек, не профессионал. So I would advise layperson. Common man doesn't sound good because first it has the word man in it. Secondly, so it's advisable to always change man to person if you can. And common, it's not good in my opinion because it kind of dates back to a situation where in England there used to be aristocrats and common people, крестьяне какие-то. So it's a little bit like have this flair of not very polite probably, although some people use it. Regular person is good, but it means then that a person who is writing is not a lawyer, because in legal documents there is a specific term used which is layperson. So if you want to speak like a lawyer in the English speaking world, it is advisable to use layperson. A little bit of time left. I think I will speak for about 5 or 6 minutes more, and then we'll be kind of answering the questions. Sexist modifiers. What does it mean? It means that it's not advisable now to specify who is a person, a man or a woman. For example, female judge, lady lawyer, male nurse, woman attorney. It is advisable to say just judge, lawyer, nurse, and attorney. So this decorum or this slur of male or female, it's not advisable because it means that it is unusual for a woman or a man to do this profession, which is again is not fair. It means that we're judgmental. We're judging the person based on their gender, and it may lead to discrimination already. And other sexist terms. Mostly they are, of course, for United States, but also you need to keep them in mind. We don't have these words co-ed. Co-ed, it means students studying together, girls and boys. So it's an American term, student. Divorcee, it means разведенка. It can be both related to a man and a woman. It's better to say divorced person. Pardon. Speaking about forefathers, I think it's kind of horrible because forefathers как предтечи или отцы-основатели. So it's better to say forerunners or forebears. So I don't know what in the United States they're going to do with the faces in the rock of the first presidents. So housewife and house husband. According to the new world, it's better to use homemaker, which is also quite horrible, but please keep it in mind. So, and then girls. So when you are, and sometimes it used to be like you enter into a hall of teachers, for example, you say, hi, girls. So right now it's not advisable to use it, so it's better to say, hi, everyone. So who knows what will be the reaction. And of course, man and wife. Мужчина и жена. So его жена. It's better to say man or and a woman or husband and wife. And of course, my favorite, one of my favorite expressions, old wives' tales, домыслы старых кумушек. Все нельзя говорить, нужно говорить superstitious belief or idea. I think it's too much, and we are going into too far away. But keep it in mind that, yes, it's the new world. And I think it's the final task. So let's give it a try. It's from American Course Book. The statute gives men and their wives more freedom to independently dispose of their property. Oops, I made a mistake. By contract, pardon, free from court supervision. Ой, ошибка была. Быстро писала. Значит, закон предоставляет право мужчинам и их женам более свободно распоряжаться или избавляться от своей собственности путем заключения договоров без необходимости включения суда в данную ситуацию. So the issue is men and their wives. So the options are husbands and wives, men and women and their husbands. Okay, so let's see. So if we say men and women, 35%, then it's kind of, it's not clear then why they have common property. Почему у них тогда общая собственность? So we need more specific term in this situation. So it means that they must be spouses, они должны быть супругами. That's why it's better to use husbands and wives. So we identify their status right away. Speaking about women and their husbands, it's very, it's now discrimination of men. So it's not advisable to use. I think someone put it as a joke. If not, for them, please be cautious. So men and women, it's gender neutral. It's okay, but it's not a precise term here. So we lack precision here. We do not show how they are related to each other. Okay, yes, I think. Yes, then I've ended my presentation. Aha, so the question is, so now I can see if there are two husbands, then I would say marital partners. So which is also an option. So, and probably that would be, thank you very much, Alexandra, the best option to say marital partners in here. So, and it is quite okay. So right now I'm done. Actually, I was very fast, so which is good. And if there are any questions, please, you are very, very welcome. You may write it either. Yes, Evgenia, go ahead.
Um,
You
Good
you
evening.
may, yes, you may either speak in Russian or in English. That's okay. Mhm.
Uh-huh. Good evening, Sophia. I would answer. Can you give this presentation? Um,
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. I will actually upload it onto the website, and I will send you all, and I will send everyone the link. And over there together, because in my system, I cannot attach the documents. So I will upload this presentation to a website, and I will put there two of these documents, the gender neutral guideline by European Parliament and the federal guideline, which is plain English by United States, and you can download the presentation, and two of the documents. Okay, so if you'd like to, you're very welcome. Okay.
okay.
Yes.
With keys, with answers.
Yes, it will be with answers. Yes, absolutely correct. I will save it with answers, and I will upload it to the website so you can see if you'd like to. So it will be there. Yes, and when I send you the link with the video, I will also put the link there to the page where you can download it. Okay,
Thank you very much.
you are very welcome. Okay.
I would
Mm-hmm.
I would say that it was very very interesting, and I'm glad to see you at the class.
No, слава богу, да. I'm very glad. I'm very glad because I'm practicing this new standard when you can do it, because it's kind of when you have a class, you can do exercises. Everyone has a piece of paper, but with a big audience, we need to do something else. Okay, so I'm actually going to finish, but if anyone has got any questions, please, you are very welcome to voice them, either in Russian or in English. You are
I
very,
want to
very,
ask a
yeah.
question. Is it
Mhm.
correct to use his or her? Because nowadays we have non-binary people
Mhm.
who don't identify themselves as a man or as a woman. And for many women,
Mhm.
um, it's hard to agree that the man is on the first place, his or her,
Mhm.
and not her or his.
I think it's absolutely the option of the person. That's a good question, Ksenia. So I would say that there are two, I would answer it in two parts. First of all, if we speak usually in general about some hypothetical situation, it is sometimes still tradition to put his or her, and no one basically usually challenges these. Some people might say her or his, but it's their personal, I would say, opinion. So it's absolutely okay. Usually in formal documents, we're still going his or her. Second is speaking about these non-binary persons or не-бинарные вот это вот just persons. There is actually one tendency which I like, that if you get an email from a person, sometimes at the bottom where you write best regards and then your name, in United States, they started to write in brackets. I will show it right now, just a moment. They started doing it in brackets, a situation when I'll be back to you. So when they say, for example, you get an email and it says over there, best regards, на какой-нибудь там, then Sofia Barinova, and then in brackets over there, you can see that the person has put the pronouns this person would like to be addressed with. For example, she, her, I don't know, hers, and so on. And by these, people are helping the others and they identify themselves. So when you're writing to this person, later you understand that it's she. It's very nice when, for example, you get an email, I don't know, from China, and you don't understand what is the name here. Yes, and plus in Russian, we very often put our last name first, например, Barinova Sofia. And I used to get some emails where I was greeted as "Здравствуй, уважаемая Barinova." So because people usually in English language have the first on their name on the first place. So, and that's why in this situation, some person might write like they, their, according to and so on and so forth. And this is how you understand that this person is, and you need to be cautious. So, or for example, I don't know, something like this. Or maybe they will write all of the personal pronouns in the row. I haven't seen it. I have seen it once, in my life, because I do not relate that much with a lot of correspondence within some international law firm. But I have taught some students at a big international law firm, and they had that. Yes, they have it right now because they have multi country firm, and they, especially from United States, they have it. So let people do it. I think it's person's choice, but if speaking about including there, uh, it's we are not there yet. It might come probably. It might not come. Hi, Louise. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think Ksenia, I answered your question. If not, please let me know. And Olga Nikolaevna, yes, go ahead. I can see that you raised your hand. Такой у вас звук выключил. Или это, возможно, не Ольга Николаевна, у Морозова. Это у нас.
Good evening.
Yes.
I'm super excited and over the moon to join your meeting, first of all. And my question is about the term of partners. Is it correct to use it only for gay partners, gay family, or for ordinary husbands and wives?
It is absolutely okay right now that people are trying to use it to say marital partners. That's actually a very good option. Honestly, I would very often in documents it is used. I would still use husband and wife when we speak about ordinary family, and marital partners for gay families, honestly, but it's my opinion. We need to look at the documents because the law, if they change it for everyone, then yes. So, but right now, if I'm not mistaken, still in the law, there are husbands and wives, and as addition, there might be marital partners. So it might be. So it's a good question. So
what about the wedding contracts? Do lawyers use more partners or terms of wives and husbands?
Usually the lawyers start using partners, but when then they see the client, how they relate to each other, and they try to be kind of flexible. Yes, it usually depends upon the client. So because lawyer usually is not trying to insult the client, so trying to be very cautious. So you see how they call each other and so on and so forth. So if they say husband, so and wives, then yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, any other questions probably? No. Okay, we have got someone else. Okay, then thank you very much for your attention. As I said, I will send you the link with the video so you can rewatch it, and I will also send the link with the page where you can download the presentation and the with answers and the two documents. Okay, thank you very much. And so it was very nice to see a lot of familiar faces. So wonderful. I'm very glad so that we are still in touch. Okay, bye and see you. So, okay, bye. I'm finishing up. If someone has got any questions, you can always write back to me or to our company. Bye and see you.